using my GPS, so we might. Where'd that echo come from?
Getting an echo on your end?
Yes, it's my voice only. But nope, I can just hear yours now.
Oh, okay. Well, I changed a setting on my microphone picking up because I don't have my head speakers. Usually it. Well, we got a pretty good rain last night. Did it make its way to you guys? We got 3/4 of an inch. We hadn't had.
Oh, oh, you know what? I think I know where the echo's coming from.
Well, last night I had other things, and I don't know. It's kind of seems like Thursdays maybe for now. Oh, yeah, I got a random order for some T-shirt and like a mug. Went to Australia. Someone ordered through my store. I haven't had an order in months. Of course, I don't promote. I forget to promote it. So
Okay, now let's see if this echoes. I don't hear one now. Okay,
oh,
I think
good.
I figured it out. It was on my end.
Yeah, bought a couple of items. Hell yeah.
Nice.
I think it was a recent commenter, but again, I like I said, I get to promote it. So and he didn't must not bought it through YouTube because it didn't kind of register through there, like there when you got your store connected it stuff there. But I got an email check there, so he must have actually went to my website do it.
Oh, I found out something. You don't necessarily need Linktree like I thought you did, or like I thought I did. Um, I can link everything on Instagram.
What
So
in
I've
your
got
in your
I got
profile
my,
or how? I guess
yeah, I got my store and my YouTube and my Twitch channel on my Instagram.
so they allow multiple links. I guess I haven't gone to the
Yeah,
profile and updated it to see
yeah,
because
yeah. So,
they didn't used to.
yep.
That's
So, so that way, like, cause I like to kind of promote my store. I mean, like, it's through Streamlabs, but it seems like it's so hard to find. So now that I've got it linked on my Instagram, um it's a lot easier to someone ask.
well, I mean I know they allow like one main something. Yeah, I don't like they don't allow link descriptions, and I get it because that would just So you got to get creative with picture. That's probably what you need to do is like post screenshots. Think of things and hashtag it. I mean, I'm not very good at doing that. I always think of it afterwards. And honestly, because I do more things on YouTube, so like my community tab, I use more. I don't use that does go out to more than just subscribers.
Yeah.
But I think Instagram, the key there is just start, posting a lot. I mean, obviously you want it to something engaging, but I just say at our level, posting anything and hashtagging it probably is better than nothing.
Instagram, like, that's if you want to call it my community. My community there is more runner based. It's kind of weird because it's like I got the streamer base obviously through my channels, but on Instagram, I've got more of a runner following.
Yeah. The only thing I found is like Instagram for me is I don't get too much conversion, so like my shorts usually get and those can do okay, depending on.
Yeah.
But like I'm not gaining followers. Of course I'm not, I guess I'm not trying, but like I mean most people don't want to go off platform. They're already, I mean that's the hard, like the major streamers and stuff. I mean the goal is okay, get them hooked on Instagram and then get them to watch a live stream where, on Twitch or wherever they go. But I don't know if it's worth, I haven't researched enough or watched enough videos. I don't know who really benefits that or how they benefit. Their Instagram doesn't pay on ads, not like TikTok does. I mean, I have almost a moral objection to that platform.
Yeah.
But I probably should, because out of all the platforms that aren't YouTube that you can monetize, it's it's right behind YouTube as far as actually being able to monetize passively. That's what I mean is passively, because I don't have time to sponsors and stuff like that. I mean you might be able to manage something like that.
Well, funny you say that because Streamlabs started a sponsorship program, where it didn't matter. It supposedly doesn't matter what size of streamer you are. They're supposed to have something for everybody. But I signed up for it just to see what it was all about, and
Because you can always turn down things when it comes up. Yeah.
the only thing right now is like a headset, and then like I was looking at the deal it offered. So like they'll pay you. It said something like $10 up front, and then so much after that.
So you gotta pay to be in the group or the.
I don't. I'm sure you probably have to pay for your own headset, but they legitimately pay you like you get paid just to sign up like $10, and then so it's actually a paid sponsorship, not like what we used to do.
Well, right. Well, that's what I mean is
And then
sponsors.
you get. I don't know how the rest of the deal works. It's like so many times per ad or whatever. But then, like I've seen, there's a one guy with the EOS. He's got some sponsors, and he has to do so many ads per month and stuff like that. I mean, it's a bit. I, I suppose it's more like a TV station running ads than it is like what we used to do.
Well, it is. I mean, um, well, and that's what I mean by sponsorship, like sponsored spots. I mean, they, you know, something that would, okay, they're gonna pay you a rate. You're gonna, you know, read their ad or promote their ad or in midstream or in stream or something to that nature. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of ways to do it. I'm not as up on that, like actually, I mean, I've gotten a few emails about stuff, but again, it's products. It's always junk products that they just, some tiny. Well, it doesn't even, some junky product that some trying to get a big, like the ad scene on TV, get one big push. So they're just they're paying everybody to talk about their. I mean, you see it with the big folk.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did look the headphones over a little bit. I don't know how much they cost or whatever. If I was actually gonna seriously apply or whatever, like if I needed headphones, I probably would consider applying. Um, but they look they look like they're taller than standard. Um, I was like, well, I might actually if I get to a point where I need or I need a headset like these. Although these have been really good, these have definitely been worth the money. Um, but I'm like, maybe I would actually consider doing it.
But they're not. They're just paying you in a free product, not some.
No, they're actually pay you legit money.
Oh, oh.
So
I
you
guess
get,
I
like I
guess
said,
most people would
you
just
get ten
take it
dollars.
and then
You get $10 to start off with, and then for just signing with them, and then um, I don't remember if it was like you have to run like every 20 minutes you have to run a spot or what it was exactly, but then you get paid like for every spot or
Oh, well,
so you actually legitimately make money.
well,
You just have to really watch what you do in the contract is from what little I do know about that stuff.
I guess I'd try. It seems very low risk, because it isn't like they're locked into. Not like they own your content or something. That kind. And
Like I said, the only thing, I mean, I guess I could, and maybe
I
it's
mean,
like
I'd
I
do
don't
it to
really need
experiment, and if you have a
it.
bad time, then it's like, well, okay, Or I mean, that's kind of the stuff that I've. Now, where do you want?
I think we start here.
Okay.
Well, to put on. I gotta let's see what else do we need? What's this field? Because we got two other fields. This one's not quite ready yet. I don't know. I guess the first part would be, like I said, to look up to see if they're how expensive the headphones are. Because if they're like $200, then I've got to buy my own set.
Oh, you still have to buy the headphones. They don't put them
I
in.
I don't know. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying. If it's $200 and I have to buy my own set, then no,
Oh,
I wouldn't want
well
to do
then.
it.
Okay, well
But if
that's not the type of.
but
Okay,
if
I
it's
misunderstood then.
if it's like they'll pay me for it, but I have to pay like maybe $50 for the set, I might consider doing something like that. You know?
Well, yeah, I guess I'd look for ones where you don't have, because
I don't. I'd
the
have to.
sponsorships I'm talking about, it's like they're either giving you they're giving you the product to try or to and kind of quote review, even though they're paying you. Um, they're giving you the product and then they'll pay you for the swap.
That part I don't know. I'm not saying that they aren't.
Oh, I know you
I
don't
don't.
know, but I initially that's what I initially thought. No, I know you don't. You just don't know. I misunderstood that part.
I guess some equipment. If you want to flip over to the shop, there's
Oh,
a.
okay. I was just
Where is Field 9? We're gonna do another contract. It's a white tractor. It's at the shop.
into it.
I don't know why it wouldn't.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay, well, it's if you go out. Do you know how to get to the highway?
Oh yeah.
You're on my farm. Where would that? You should have permissions to everything. Oh, hold on. Let me try this. Okay, now try flipping to it. No. Okay,
Still not.
well,
I mean, I
it's on the it's on the corner. It's field 9. If you want to just look it up on the map and meet me there. It's the one flashing.
yeah.
You're right. No, no, up, up.
No, I see, and I'm just like, I was just seeing where. Well, I
I
guess
just
my point being, I guess I would fi- read a little bit about it or how you can participate. Just see. I mean, that's how we did what we did before, kind of and after it. A company I thought about. I just don't know how to pitch it and tie. Well, I haven't thought about what I could pitch. Well, I got some ideas, um, but is Black Rifle Coffee Company. See if I get them like sponsor a project. Just trying to think about how to tie it in.
yeah.
But they're not out looking. I'd have to like used to do. Have to contact it.
Yeah.
weird. Couldn't cycle to it, but I'll just get into it. Problem.
I don't understand why that is.
Hey,
Because I'm setting the GPS.
okay. Well, it's funny. I could kind of figured to be you.
It is for me, but I was set the
Well, I know, but
GPS.
only your view.
Oh, because in these it's a little bit harder to set GPS than the new one. The only problem I have is when I flip from one of this or 19, and then go back to 25. Sometimes I get a little confused on what button does
I was
what
gonna say,
because
forget the control.
they're different key configs. Well, I'm trying to figure out at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my Stream Deck. So they did an update. Well, I think it started with Windows last week. It was either Windows or Nvidia. Anyways, they did an update last week, and then the day after they did their update, it seemed like everybody else had an update, and um, the Stream Deck update, and then I have a problem ever since. I can't get my Be Right Back and my other the stream end screen to pop up, and so I'm trying to figure that out right now. They moved some things, but it's also like they didn't.
Have you searched Reddit for problem? Because I guarantee there's an answer there. You gotta find.
Oh no, I haven't searched Reddit. I've Googled it several times.
Yeah, maybe you need. Well, then put Reddit.
But
Because
but the other thing is, I Googled it last week. Not like
well, what I
maybe
mean
by
is when
now
you Google
there's.
search, then put like Reddit, and then it'll kind of that should if somebody has similar problems, should be one of the top results. I mean, I find that's how I things like this. You know, if I was having a problem, that's probably where I'd find it. Or you can, and you don't even have to. Well, I mean, I guess you could ask your own question, but otherwise, just find a Stream Deck subreddit, and then there. Like I said, if it's a known issue, there's probably threads all about it.
The funny part is, so they make you download the plugins to the like Streamlabs, or if you're using OBS Streamlabs or
Right.
whatever. Well, they make you download the different plugins, but on on OBS Streamlabs, what I need is there, but I don't run OBS. On Streamlabs by itself, it isn't there, and what I need isn't there. It won't let me. The only thing I can think of is maybe just go ahead and try downloading the Streamlab plugin and see if maybe it somehow works. Oh, you want to take the combine the dog wants out?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, I'll do it. Back and then
Yep. You can continue combining.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I'll come back the other way, but probably halfway back I'll need.
otherwise I was gonna pick up another contract.
Oh, or yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be right next to the field anyways, so. Well, I didn't catch the first race, but I saw the second race.
We haven't watched yet, but that's okay. We've gotten decent points. I had like $20 in Rocky Mountain cash, so I bought another T-shirt. That that completely paid for it.
Oh, very sweet. So the reason why I didn't watch the first race and watched only the second race was I was in the ER with my mom because
Oh right, Dexter
she
snapped or whatever. Yeah.
yeah she fell weeding in the garden. Well, so the ER doctor, I mean, they were slammed. They were pretty busy, and the ER doctor comes in, and because you have to ask for the TV remote. Oh, I got $17. Um, I'll have to I'll have to look to order something. Anyways, he comes in and he goes, "Oh, you guys are watching you're watching dirt bike racing," and go, "Yep." My mom goes, "Well, he uh he used to race, and I just kind of had to start watching." That's what she says.
Oh.
Anyway, and I'm like that. Well, that isn't exactly true, but
Yeah. Well.
whatever. He goes, well, I get a few of those guys in here, they get hurt every once in a while, and then um as he goes, but surprisingly, he goes, it's not really the motocross racers. He goes, it's a lot more of just the people that don't wear their helmets, or they're drinking and
Yeah.
doing. And I said, well, the thing is, I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't wear that stuff. I said, I always thought it was kind of cool to wear that. And and the nurse looked over at me and just kind of smiled, and um he's like, yeah, he goes, it was kind of cool, uh that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah, he goes, we don't hardly see anybody that actually races because they're all in the safety gear, and it's evidently enough to keep them protected for the most part.
Well. Yeah. I mean.
Which you wouldn't think. I mean, I know when we used to do that stuff is a lot different than now, and things have only. You would think things would have only improved. Um, but it at the same time, it's like there isn't. It's amazing because there isn't that much stuff actually protecting you.
Yeah. Well, I think some of it, or especially when you're racing or you're more experienced, say, don't even have to be a racer, more experienced like we are or were, I guess, you kind of know how to crash a little bit. That's, you know, people that get hurt. And I'm in these dirt bike groups, modern guys. Um it seems like the ones that are getting hurt are the ones that are they're well, they're definitely kind of wannabes, um, and definitely riding over their skill level, and uh, and I think that they're riding over their skill level, and they think they're better than they are, so they take maybe some more unnecessary risks that in just they're just practicing. It isn't like most of them are, oh, broken bone because, and it wasn't. There's never, oh, I was racing and this guy hit me, cut me off or whatever. It's they were, either practicing or whatever, but they want to, and who doesn't, but wants to emulate other, emulate the racers, or they think they're, and then it's just practice day, and they come up short, they come up short on something, or they actually, I feel like a lot of people biff it in the corners, and that really wadded up.
See, that's why I guess I always felt like I was really good in the corners.
Yeah.
I was like, I was not better in the corners than I was probably anywhere else on the track.
But I think the ones that get hurt, they're like, okay, yeah, they definitely, they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna go for the triple when they don't really know how to double quite right, or I don't know. I mean, a lot of things can happen, but I I feel like experience, knowing your skill level, staying with it. Well, of course, then there's all, but I look at, out of all of us, you know, Jeff kind of crashed the most, and he never really got hurt because he knew how to crash, And even then, he didn't crash that much, but when he did, kind of like a cat, had the athleticism.
Yeah. Well, it was, he did ask me, he's like, so he goes, did you ever break anything? Or, like have any, you know, any serious injuries? And I said no. And he said, well, you must have been pretty lucky where you already hardly ever crashed. And I said, actually, I probably had a serious crash about once every 3 months, what I would consider a serious crash. But I'm like, I was always either just lucky enough or like you said, just knew how to kind of roll out of it. That I never really broke anything.
Yeah.
I think the worst one. I didn't really get to think about it. I think the worst injury I ever got was that it took the healing burst to the chest.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. I, I, yeah, because it stalled on the face of the jump, and of course the wheels were in the air and just tipped over backwards. I mean, granted, stuff like that happens so fast. I always, in hindsight, it's always like, well, if you would have pulled the clutch, would have, you know, would it have just rolled back? Rolled front end, come down, roll backwards. But it kind of, I don't know. You'll never know. And but yeah, I was thinking of that. But here's the deal: the reason you didn't really get hurt. I mean, yeah, it knocked the wind out of you for sure. Um, but see, you had a chest protector.
No, that was the reason why I got a chest protector
Or
because I
no,
didn't
that's
have one
right. It
yet.
was right. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But then, yeah, I think we all were wearing them after that kind of. I mean, well, especially like them hair scrambles, you had to have it, just getting pelted with rocks stuff out there. But back at Jesse's, yeah, Yeah, when I think about it, that was probably probably the worst one you probably ever had.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason why I remember it kind of almost vividly is because I was standing right there and reached for the front end and the wheel to kind of grab it to sort of at least slow it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull it down, but slow it down, and I just missed it. I was just too far away. My arms didn't. Because I think what we were doing is we were practicing step up double. I think. I don't know. I was standing right next to the jump. That's all I remember. I don't know why. Don't remember why. Maybe I was. No, I wasn't filming, because if I was filming, we'd have it on. Speaking of that, and that talked about that. And gosh darn it, that makes me think of doing our watch party thing, which I think about. Even if it's just me and you. Nice there. But always wished to film more, but again, tape kind of expensive and rare. Well, rare as in you only had so much tape. I mean, if we just had that thing rolling every time, there'd be, even if you run it on SLP, that get 6 hours out of it. We'd have a tape full every weekend.
Yeah.
But of course, thinking back now, I kind of wish we. But like my mini DV, once I got that camera, an hour. Okay. I think like a 3-pack of those, like $15 or something. I mean, they weren't cheap. It wasn't cheap. I need to stuff more professionally. I mean, I have my edits, but I don't have all the files of the raw footage. And I think I got, because you had that camcorder, and I believe I transferred and got that on to at least VHS. So I have at least a second generation version of that stuff. You ever run across those high 8 tapes? Maybe get them to at least the transfer. Get them on a USB. Because I think I got all the stuff you had. I'm not 100% sure. The reason why I think I do is because, again, when I ran across that, there was stuff like Brooke took it to college and stuff, where, a couple minutes of her and that friend. I don't remember. But anyway, I remember running across. I was like, what is this? And, oh, this is Brooke Goodline. As far as riding, all out there in the pasture at your guys' old house, and that, which some of that was on your camera.
Yeah. It's in the room behind me. I don't know. I'm slowly getting through things. Probably not as fast.
Yeah, but I'm
not as fast as some people would like, but I'm getting through things.
I like stuff like this. I've been talking about it literally for years, and I get it. It's not my priority, and then I get
it's not that
other
it's not,
projects.
It's not that it's not a priority. It's just like a lot of my stuff is family stuff. It's from my grandma's or my mom when she had to downsize, and
yeah.
we were, I guess, I mean, we did get rid of. We did get rid of a bunch, or at least I feel like it. We did, but then there was a bunch of stuff we didn't know what to do with at the time, and And now we're like Brooke said, she's like, well, if you haven't used it by now, you're probably not going to use it.
Yeah, well, and
Well,
yeah,
I
of course
mean,
that's easier
that's
said than done too, because it's like I was back there, folks, recently, and it's like, I was even looking at just my stuff, and it's like there's some of that I took it upon myself to just pitch, because it's like, okay, don't need it, but then there's all, we have too much. I try to keep it at a minimum here, but
I get it to a point because like I grew up um, when I got an old farm, it had the old farmhouse on it, and my dad and his brothers basically took most of their stuff, but they didn't take everything when they left there, and some of that stuff was still in that house. Actually, it's still in that house now. And it's just now I don't know if it's probably not even safe to go up there, but it just set up in what used to be their bedrooms. It just sat there in boxes all these years. I no granted
oh, hi,
once
welcome to the chat, Twitch, on my channel.
once once Brooke and I figured out that it was up there, we'd go up there occasionally and we kind of pilfer through stuff. And we do have a few of the things that were up there, but for the most part, it's just going to be lost when the house is lost too.
Yeah,
Um, but they just left theirs. They took what they wanted and they left the rest of their stuff up there.
yeah, but at least here with my own house, I like I said, try not to collect that kind of stuff, but then I have stuff that definitely is valuable uh, to me, uh, for what I'm doing here. But I like all my vintage motorcycle magazines. I went like over the winter, organized them, separated like ones that had certain articles about bikes I have or that were significant to me than the rest. Um, but shoot, I have all my uh, Transworld Motocross and Cycle Worlds and some dirt bikes magazines. I mean, we're talking through my formative years, high school into college, until that magazine got shut down. And it's like I almost pitched him, but then I'm like, well, I really like looking at my dad's old late '60s and early '70s. Probably gonna like, and if Tucker or Trip, they're gonna love seeing the birth of. And actually, I've cracked a few of them and seeing the early days of Ford, the high performance Ford, the four-stroke revolution. It's kind of fun to read about. And then all of Ricky Carmichael and Stewart and the tail end of McGrath is all in there. Well, McGrath and the tail end of there is in there, and everybody else around that time. It's kind of neat. Oh, somebody's asking how many mods do I have, or how this is not my map. I'm just helping out. So how many mods do we have? Like 30 or 40 or something on this map? Probably.
22.
Well, maybe not that many.
Actually, this map we're not running all of our mods either. We're just running maybe some of the bigger ones.
Okay, but how many would you say? I mean, a total, I guess. That's what you're asking, right? No
I
one,
think
no 12.
I think you're guessing you're. I'm gonna go with what you guessed, which is about 50, but I'm guessing that we're probably only running about 10 in this map.
That seems. Oh, but anyway, about the stuff, But I got and like my Atari vintage game stuff. I mean, I did the same thing as like at least catalog, getting all the manuals and any literature and other paraphernalia like that. kind of situated. But my dream would be to have it, kind of functionally displayed so I can get it out, and because I do occasionally need a manual for games, but like the games themselves, I like to play them, so I'd like them stored. Right now, they're in totes and tubs because I did have them that way, but then kind of rearrange things. I do have my gaming corner with my arcade games and kind of my vintage Pac-Man and Atari stuff from the era. Some of them were modern. I have been very much more selective with like new stuff, branded stuff like that I will be picking up. It's because it makes so much crap. It's While some of it's neat, it's never gonna be. It's not about the money so much, but it's never gonna have sentimental value. Whereas like some of that early stuff that I picked up, at flea markets, garage sales, and sometimes new in the store when it was closing out, because that was Nintendo came in and they were still clearing. Atari was still trying to hang on red with stuff, so there was new stuff, but it was all heavily discounted. I bought a lot of stuff at Pomida. Back in the day, they had electronics section, boxes, stuff, but the stuff that I did keep, again, has sentimental value because I kept it. I always had it with me, or in my room, or with my other Atari games. There's all that kind of stuff. But then, like you said, if you haven't used it by this time, you probably don't need it. Kind of. Well, yeah, I have to do that with other things, even in my garage. Now, not so much tools, but like extra supplies or something. Or I have trouble hoarding materials sometimes because I'll keep odds and ends, and because I will use them. But like sometimes it's more like, okay, I've had this odd pieces of plywood for 5 years and I haven't found a use for them. All right, cut them up and burn them, or cut them up and put them in the.
Okay, so one of the things that I just did recently was I went through the first part of my garage and kind of cleaned up a little bit. I've got this. It's not even a half. It's maybe a third of a whiskey barrel. They sell it. Well, now it's TSC.
Yeah.
At the time, would have been Rulers or whatever.
Yep.
Or maybe it wasn't quite that. But anyways, I bought it for like $20. I always intended on either. Originally, I was going to do a planter out of it, and then I thought about it. I was like, well, if I buy a plastic insert, I could maybe make a little, kind of a fun little fountain out of it and whatnot. Well, I never got to setting it up, and then the wood is kind of shrank, and it doesn't want to necessarily. It's still in one piece because I've kind of forced it to be in one piece with the insert, but it's kind of also fragile at the same time. So I'm I'm kind of like I'm kind of torn between is like, should I keep it and do something with it like I intended on it, or should I just try and get someone to
Facebook
see if someone was be interested in it, or should I just pitch the darn thing and just be done with it? And I mean, I guess I could always get another one, and it's only $20, but it's really stupid stuff like that. And then there's other things where it's like there's projects that I started to buy stuff for, and then I never did anything with them. And
where are we dumping this? At the elevator down the highway towards the shop, or back at our?
I could always dump it for you.
Okay.
No, this goes to a shop.
Okay. Well, I'm full, so if you want to dump it so it gets in the right place.
Okay.
Or if you can get that green thing to work, the marker. I don't know. For whatever reason, it won't ever show up on. Well, like it did once. I shouldn't say it never did, but it did once. ever
Okay,
again.
so I got it going. Uh, yeah, it is this. Let's
So is
see.
it like down off in the distance?
How about this? I'll drive it there and show you where it's at,
Okay.
and let you flip to it, and then that way you know.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be helpful. Because yeah, that functionality like worked like one time. All these other times. Again, like I said, I don't play enough offline to get myself.
That's the thing. It's like I think you could probably do it on your own. It's just that you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know I'm going in the menus to
Right, and again,
find
that's
the
because
place and stuff.
I don't play it
Yeah.
offline to learn that stuff. And
Okay.
okay, okay, on the pit or the
Yep.
doesn't have an ODD.
You're on the back trailer. You need to be on the front one.
Oh,
That kind of a
yep, there
trailer
we
setup.
go.
You've got to flip to each one.
But it doesn't have a. There wasn't an icon.
There is on my map. I don't know how far back your stream is. Are you getting it unloaded?
Oh, because it's not recognized.
Because you. Oh, you're on the tractor. You need to flip to the green cart. You
How do you know?
see.
How do you know which one you're on? Okay, well there it goes. All right. Well, I've never figured out how to know which tool you're on.
To your top left, when you see the tractor
Oh,
and
okay. I've never noticed that little icon. Okay, yeah, I see it now. I see what you're
this
saying.
is what trailer it is on.
Okay. Well, that would have been helpful. I never noticed that. Yeah, we're good. Well, you talk about projects and stuff. It's like, well, I've got stuff for doing the interior of my trailer, which I've worked some on, but it's not done to be able to start mounting the tie down places. I got to figure out where the tie down places are. Likes I want to put in there. That still, and I got wired for the lights. I have the lights purchased, but um, and then, there's some kind of decor type stuff that I want to put up in there, and uh, I want to be able to use it. And I got some shows coming up, and well, one of them, or hopefully the one in September, maybe I'll have it ready. I vicious, but I'm also redoing my front gates. I moved them out to give room, and I use cattle panel like gates at frame,
Mm-hmm.
sag and fall apart, open, unlike built years ago. I know I've talked about this before, um, but and like if I just like I got a lot done the last couple days on it, but because I had to set some posts, so waiting for concrete part of that. But well, and then also too, I gotta do a little bit. Um, 2, that's a little bit of it, but had other, family activity stuff too that affected to do. And then weather wasn't cooperating. I worked a little bit while in the rain some of the crossbar.
Yeah.
Just, I used to just get up at 7 and just work on a project like that till it's done. Get that wrapped up. That's one check. Well, and then I got front end parts all now finally in badly need. Then do that and get it into the garage and do that. Well, I have bikes I'm working on in there, but those are about wrapped. And then I want to do it so I can, within a day or two, get it in the alignment shop. Far away, but put it together well enough so it'll drive to the alignment shop. That's going to take me. If I do it after work, that usually last time I could do side and night. I did, front and back too. On this one, I've already done the back, so should only take, get that much time at night unless not do anything with the kids or help Katie. That's enough. Like this week, Saturday afternoon shot because we got 4-H.
We unfortunately are gonna. So we built the rockets for 4-H, but I mean, I didn't really mean that. I didn't really mean to procrastinate. It just didn't really work out budget-wise to buy the rocket motors in the time frame that I needed to buy them in, and it also doesn't help that they're not always there. And anyways, the rockets are due Monday, and we haven't shot any of them off yet. And so I asked if they paid for any of that, or, like registration fees or anything. She said no. So I'm like, well, I'll come down and we'll launch the rockets still, because that's what I know. That's what the boys want to do. But I'm like, I guess we're just gonna have to miss the actual 4-H, like the exhibit part this year. And I'm like,
well, see, that's what this is what's called Little Fair. So it's kind of just like a couple of clubs, neighboring clubs, showing some stuff, and then actual fair is later in.
I guess I don't feel too bad missing it, because in model rocketry, like, you need to have the look to see how well you built it, obviously, but you're also supposed to write a report. Well, the one kid will take notes and write things down. The other
you gotta
kid,
have your record book. Your record book. So this is what you see.
The other kid didn't do a darn thing as far as writing anything down. The only thing that he was doing with his notebook was scribbling on it. And I called him out on it when we were working on it. And I'm like, well, you're gonna get you're gonna get a red ribbon, which doesn't, like, I guess get like, to me that's like not good.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the happiest about it anyway. I mean, not when I say not happy, like I just not, it wasn't up to to my standards. I guess is what I should say.
Yeah. Well, that's the
And
thing. If you want to do 4-H, you gotta, put in the effort.
yeah, well, it's not all the kids' fault either because it's like I haven't built rockets for 25 years, and to be honest, I had a lot of help from my dad back then. So I um for me doing it myself, I'm making a lot of mistakes building them, and then but I'm trying to get better at it. But it's like there were some things this year that were it just wasn't going right, and then like I said, it just didn't work out. So I think which is kind of unfortunate for those for the boys a little bit because they were supposed to do the bicycle rodeo. Well, they had to cancel it this year because they didn't have enough participants. So I don't know if they're going to have any exhibits this year going to. Well, I mean, bicycle rodeo, you don't have that's on exhibit, but it's still like they're not going to have anything. They can go to fair and they can look around fair, but they won't have anything going in fair.
Right.
But I was like, I'll come down because I just need an evening that I can break free, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, it's as long as I go this summer sometime, it stays late enough that I can shoot down there for an evening. We can shoot them off for we can launch them one each at least and call it good. And I think next year, but I didn't really tell my sister, but I think next year I'm gonna kind of like start planning now a little bit maybe, and
Yeah.
see if I can't maybe get a little bit further ahead of the curve. Because that's my thing is I just ran between running around everywhere. I just ran out of time and money.
Field's pretty big. I don't think I'm gonna get it done in this stream. A few more passes.
These fields, yeah, these fields are huge. That's one of the things I like about this map is um is working is working these big fields.
Yeah, I mean I do too.
On 25, I streamed on Saturday and I started a different logging map. And then as I was working through it, I kind of figured some more things out. So I'm on like restart number 15 on and I don't know if that's the actual number, but restart number 15 on my Silver Run map. But I have a good feeling about this one, but I think I said that about the last one. I think I'm finally getting to a point where I'm kind of like fine tuning how I want to play the map. So I just need to get to a point now where it's like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not perfect. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's right because we were gonna watch you, but yeah, that's when you go to the hospital. Mom was in the ER or whatever because you weren't able to.
So that
We'll
morning
probably be
was
able to watch this.
the normal first hour, and then I got a call. Well, I understand why they called me in there. Like, so, her facility called me and said, well, "We're taking your mom in the hospital. She fell." And I was like, "Okay, well, she's bleeding." I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like, I finally asked them. I said, "Well, do you think I need to come up?" And they said, "Yeah, we think it's kind of serious." And I'm like, "All right, well, guess I'll come up." So I got her in, and I went up there. Well, I think why I thought it was serious was she was bleeding pretty good because she scraped her face up pretty good, and they they couldn't tell if there was there really was only two cuts on her face, but the one was bleeding bad enough that um they didn't know if that was the only wound or not.
Okay,
Um,
that's what I wondered.
yeah, so it's like I went up there and I got there just about the time they were getting ready to run the scans and everything, check things out, but um things started coming back good and everything. The only problem was, like I said, they it, they were so busy um, with people that they didn't have any. They had a hard time dealing with the flow of people that they had in there. Um, they had a full ER, and it didn't sound like anything was like. It didn't sound like I don't know for sure, but it didn't sound like anything was like too serious in any of the rooms. Just serious enough that they had to come to ER. It's like they didn't have anybody was like having a heart attack or like was in a bad car accident or something. But we ended up there for 4.5 hours. Which is for the reason why we ended up with the TV remote. I guess they don't put the remotes in the rooms, so we had to ask, and then they only give them to people like they deem not like their situation isn't bad enough that they can give them a remote. I don't know exactly.
That seemed
Kind of like they triage the remotes, which I don't know. I'm sure they have a reasoning, but And by the time I got her home, and then neither one of us had eaten, so I went and got us lunch, and then oh, shoot, by the time I got back to my house, it was already late afternoon. I mean, it shot a good portion of my day out. Well, I started playing that out at Oregon. I kind of got back into my schedule. If you guys do come in regularly, I'll jump back in on Minecraft too. But um,
Yeah, that might be a.
that's
We'll see.
that's okay because I think for the next month we're good on the schedule, but I think August September might be a little sketchy, and then I don't know beyond that yet. Because we're doing. In fact, I'm signing them. I plan on signing them up tomorrow. We're doing outdoor soccer, which
Oh, yeah.
that's the one that was like Mondays, Thursdays. Um, but it'll affect my Saturdays because I got to figure out when I'm gonna work out if I'm not gonna. If I don't have Thursday night or Monday night available to me. We got a toolbar at work this or not toolbar. We got a new laser at work this week.
Oh,
Well, they've been installing it for a few weeks now, but the last part finally came from Mexico last week, and then um they tried to run it Monday. Apparently, the company um ran it wrong. Employees wanted it wrong, and our machine ripped up the roof and everything. They had to it started pulling on wires that it shouldn't have been pulling on, and then it started ripping up the roof of the machine and stuff. They had the techs. There's three of them here this week. They had to disassemble it and redo it all. Okay. Our machine got hit up in Mexico by about if what felt like a month. I think it was only like 2 or 3 weeks, but because the Mexican government wouldn't sign the paperwork to let it cross the border.
Hmm.
For what our understanding was, and it wasn't just our machine. There was there's other machines they needed to have delivered, and um they were all sitting at the border. They couldn't cross over because the government wouldn't sign the paperwork for it. but now we got it going, and our our laser guy was saying this week or saying today that it's like it cuts even 3/8 like pretty quick. Ooh.
Well, I'm unloading this and I'll take it back to the field, and then
That sounds fine. I'm yawning. It's bedtime. Yeah, we'll leave it on Thursdays for now. Like I said, in about a month it may not work, but
yeah,
who
that's
knows?
okay.
In another month, what it'll. We can either go to Wednesdays or Tuesdays
Yeah, well,
or Saturdays.
yeah, even that might.
The only thing about Saturdays is sometimes I end up staying over later,
Yeah.
and yeah, we'll just have to play it by ear. We'll see when we get there. And it'll only be for 4 weeks that we can't do Thursdays, and then we can always go back to it if we need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, we'll keep it. That's fine.
I just really like, man, I really like having. I say I have my Fridays off. Sometimes I get surprised and find out that I'm supposed. I have a honey-do list that I don't know about until last minute, but otherwise, if I get to come home, I try to pick a project I can work on. So try to do something with my time here. So
Couldn't quite haul it.
turn the corner and then line up the. Well, and I'll have this contract done next stream too.